So we do a week in wrestling here. That's the format I've been going with, where we just do Monday through Sunday, and we usually record on a Sunday, so we'll have the whole week behind us to talk about it. So I've made a format for today on our blog, the Malapert Smark blog, and let me pull that up for you guys. There it is. All right, so I put a link to this if anyone wants to follow along. It also has the links to all of our reviews that we've done this week. So this is episode number 147. Congratulations, we're almost at 150. But show topics for today. I'm going to start with Charlotte Flair. Okay, so Charlotte's back. She won the Royal Rumble, and she appeared on all 3 shows. So I want analysis from you guys for all 3 segments. Maybe which one was your favorite one, or which one would you think? And afterwards, we're going to do a what do you think is going to be the matchups for WrestleMania, including this and including whatever else you could think of. But this is very preliminary because WrestleMania is a long way away. So we're just, whatever thoughts we come up with, we're going to see, and we're going to play around with this little graphic I got and move around the wrestlers. But for right now, let's go with Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte's back, and for anyone who hasn't been watching wrestling for the past year, like for example, my girlfriend, Haley, she has never seen Charlotte Flair. So this was like brand new, and they did a great job introducing her to anyone who might have just joined into wrestling like in the past 6 months and never seen her. Like if you watch these 3 segments, you know all about Charlotte Flair. Her whole personality shown through, her arrogance. So let's start with Raw. So this is February 3rd on Monday. She was confronted by Rhea Ripley. And then, I'll gloss over all of them first before we jump too deeply into it. So then she showed up on NXT the next night. And that night they were having like a summit in the ring because there's going to be a 3-way, Vlad. I don't know if you know this because you don't really follow NXT. But Bayley, Julia, and Roxanne are going to have a 3-way. So Charlotte showed up there to talk to them. Cora Jade showed up, whacked everyone with a steel pipe. It was crazy. But Smackdown also, so she showed up over there, had a meeting with Tiffany, and then Nia came in because Nia's like, you know what, I'm going to beat Tiffany before WrestleMania, so this is all a moot point, you talking to Tiffany. So, all right, well, out of these 3 segments, I'll start with Robert. I have ratings from all of you guys, so I might as well just go through what the ratings were. So this is from our Raw complete review, which is in the description below. So we've already had ratings from you guys from Monday Night Raw with Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. I was the only one who gave it a heart, so I gave it 3 points. You guys gave it 2 points, 2 thumbs up each on our review system. So I liked it. I like this segment a lot. I'll talk about it a little more later. But the NXT one, only me and Robert reviewed that because we're the only ones who do the NXT review. So Robert liked this one more. Interesting.
Oh.
Plus 3 points from Robert on this one. A heart. And he loved it. I really liked it. 2 thumbs up. And then SmackDown we all reviewed. So the segment with Tiffany and Nia. Let's see what we got here. I got 2 thumbs up from me and Robert. Just a thumbs up from Vlad. So, all right. I'll start with Robert. So obviously from the 3, you liked the NXT one more, but give your thoughts about Rhea Ripley's return and all these segments and her week in general, if you will.
Okay. Okay, I'll start with the Raw one since that came first. But just to rewind a bit on last week's podcast, I did say that I wish that someone else besides Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble. Not anything personal against Charlotte, but I just preferred, if someone else had the opportunity to win the title besides her because she's had so many already. When I said what I said, I thought I was kind of in the minority with that opinion. But then when I heard the boos on Raw, I was like, okay, I guess I wasn't, because apparently a lot of people think that, and I didn't know that because I thought I was in the minority. But okay, but still though, that was a really good segment. They've had history. They've fought each other twice at WrestleManias, so it would make sense that they would have a trilogy. So a third WrestleMania match would make sense. They had a pretty good back and forth. So it was really good segment. All right, the NXT one, I'm not even gonna pretend like there's no bias here. I have a lot of NXT bias here. I personally loved it. Her interaction with Bailey, Julia, and Roxanne. The NXT fans were a lot more welcoming of Charlotte than the Raw fans were. Well, clearly she was brought up through the NXT system, and when when Charlotte kept saying over and over again that NXT is always her home, that felt genuine. That didn't feel like something that was scripted and she had to say that. That felt like she really meant it. So I personally enjoyed the NXT segment. Last one, the one with well, start off just between her and Tiffany Stratton. um, I didn't expect Nia Jax to make an appearance. I thought it was just going to be, a face to face between Charlotte and Tiffany. But okay, they want to drag out this story a little bit longer, until Charlotte finally makes her decision. Fair enough. Um, I think a matchup between Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton would make a lot of sense too, because Rhea Ripley is already established as a big star. Now WWE needs to do the same for Tiffany Stratton, and this was a good exchange as well. So overall, all of the segments involving Charlotte were good.
All right, let me jump to Vlad then. Vlad, same thing. Your thoughts on Charlotte Flair's week, please.
Well, it started rough. It started rough on that Raw, man. I got to tell you. I mean,
You
she
didn't like
came
that
out.
segment?
No. I mean, for her, it started rough.
Oh yeah,
Not-
she certainly didn't get the same reception Jey Uso got, which we thought it would be the opposite. We thought fans were gonna turn down Jey Uso and
well, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
accept Charlotte Flair's pedigree, but it was the opposite. So all right, yes, she was getting booed, but she kind of muddled through that somehow, and
No, she did a great job getting through it because, boy, everything she said, like, I'm glad to be here. You guys brought me back here. Boo, you suck. I'm like, you're the reason that I came back through this injury. Boo, we don't want to be the reason.
Sounds like Hogan.
well, she was a heel like before, she's an arrogant bitch heel, obviously. But look, in addition to that, let me ask you what you think about Rhea coming out and basically challenging her. Like, what do you think about the champion doing that? Did you think that said anything about Rhea Ripley, or am I fishing for something here?
Maybe. I think you're on the right track because I think Charlotte said the same thing. She's like, well, you're challenging me. Then you're still a kid, right, type of deal. Which I think was a good burn, and I think really made Rhea, like, really angry with that. And she's like, I'll beat
She's the one who beat her last year. Why is she coming out and saying you need to challenge me so I could beat you again? And
But to be fair, they are 1-1 at WrestleMania, so they should have that. If it doesn't have to be this WrestleMania, but they should eventually at some point have that trilogy. I don't think it should be this WrestleMania, and I'll explain why in a second. But this was a great segment. It was tremendous. Both did a great job. I think, especially. Rhea always does a great job with her promos, but Charlotte, given the fact that I think she was a little, probably discombobulated with the boos, because I think that was not part of the script for sure. She did not expect to be booed that badly, and you could tell that to be the case. But she still went through it and ad-libbed a lot of the different things, and she did a great job getting out of that. And then she kind of did turn heel a little bit in this. I don't think she was originally. I don't think she was gonna be, but she sensed the crowd was not with her, so she did kind of go heel here. The NXT thing, I didn't really see, but I saw like a little bit of it actually. So look, it's cool. I mean, this is your guys' thing. I'm not gonna really comment on it. I respect all the 4 people in there. I think they're all probably really good workers from what I've seen.
But she's not gonna pick Julia this year, though. I gotta admit, like, this is not the year to pick NXT. There's years in the past where it might have made more sense, but it's not gonna be Julia. But okay.
With Charlotte winning,
she did come out and say she thought she was better than everybody, so she continued her little arrogant thing, and she said all these girls are good, but I'm better, which was kind of funny. But all right, sorry, I cut off your little NXT diatribe, but
no, I didn't really have much to say to that. By the way, Bailey is looking tremendous. Okay, that's all I have to say about that. Let's move on to Smackdown.
It's always looked tremendous, but yes.
Well, yes, but specifically on that NXT where she was last week.
All right.
This was my least.
Praise from Vlad. But
This
okay,
is my,
go ahead.
yes, yes. I have a keen eye for things like this. But anyway, but SmackDown, well, actually, my least favorite of the 3 segments. Well, I can't say that because I didn't really watch all the NXT segment, but I saw enough of it where I thought it was still pretty solid. The reason I don't like it is because I think the Tiffany character is still like they're trying to kind of figure it out as they're going with her. Like she's not where she needs to be yet as far as like her mic skills and some of her wrestling ability is also like not completely there yet. So she's a really work in progress, but she has like all the little, she has the tools to be really great. So it was a good segment. I didn't like Nia getting involved again, and now they're going to have another title match. I mean, hopefully Tiffany wins because that would be a disaster if she didn't. You know, given who I think they're trying to push at this point, which is Tiffany. So the reason I want to go, I think this is more, and it's still an important segment though, despite it being lowest rated, because I think this is who Charlotte's going to end up picking. She's going to end up picking Tiffany. I think they're going to want to make Tiffany in this WrestleMania. So they're going to try to put her over Charlotte. Now, again, I don't think she's there yet, but maybe with this win, they're thinking like they could push her through somehow and get her there where she needs to be as a character, as a wrestler, and everything in between. You know, so she has some decent mic skills, and but sometimes like it just sounds very boring. And it's also weird because like she's saying all this kind of heel stuff, but the crowd is really with her. It's really a strange type of deal. Like, it's like the opposite of what Charlotte got at Raw. Like Charlotte was trying to be really nice, and she got booed. And somebody says like some really crappy shit, and she's like, and the crowd just eats it up and loves her. It's kind of a weird dichotomy here going on with these women. But I think just like if you disregard all of that, just what they're trying to do here with Tiffany, they want to push her, and they should push her, and I think Charlotte's going to choose her, and I think she's going to put her over too. That's just my guess. So that's what I would do for this, because like Robert said, Rhea's a star. Like Rhea doesn't need the rub. There's no rub for Rhea at this point. She's beyond that. She's probably like one of the she doesn't need it. So that's it. So this is where it's going. I think
that's the one thing that confused me though about all 3 of these segments was the Raw segment where I felt like Rhea's so over nowadays. Like she should have had more confidence. Like I think the right thing to do would have been for her to stay in the back and not really go out there during Charlotte's promo. That's my opinion. That's the one. That's the only thing.
I kind of agree, but I also see the point where they're 1-1 at WrestleMania and they want that trilogy, or Rhea maybe does more than Charlotte. I don't know, but I could see that too. Like she wants to show her that she really is better than her in that sense. If you're talking about kayfabe wise.
I think Rhea Ripley coming out to confront Charlotte was actually a good thing because it would have just made the segment more awkward if Charlotte kept talking and kept getting booed. So in a way, Rhea kind of saved it.
No, that's true too.
That's true. All right, well, this is a good segue into my next topic, which is an experimental topic on our show. I've never done this before, but basically I have a question for you guys because we are in WrestleMania season, and one of the fun things to do is try to figure out what the matchups are going to be. So for the women, we just talked about, I guess Vlad just said that he thinks Tiffany and Charlotte are going to go, right? So basically, let me see. I got these little graphics for us, and I'm going to go to Vlad's page for the women. So I'm going to keep a running tally. This is Vlad's page. So I have little action figures down here, and I guess we're going to try to we're going to do our final predictions at some point. But for the WWE Women's title, you're saying it's going to be Tiffany over here and against Charlotte. Okay. All right. So who's the women's champion? Rhea. So I guess it's going to be Rhea. And we're looking for a challenger for Rhea. I don't know if you have any ideas there, but
Of the women that you have there, I don't really see any of them, to be honest. I mean, maybe
Yeah, I know,
they could do something with Bianca, but they can't go back to the only person that would make sense, but they can't go back to it. I don't think is Liv, because they kind of already they put an end to that angle. So
Yeah, no, I think she's going for tag team gold, Liv Morgan,
right.
Raquel. So
I mean, sure, I would love to see Bianca and Rhea of these women, but I don't know how we get there.
all right, well, we can hold off on that then. We'll keep this page. I'm gonna keep this like this, and we'll come back to it next week. Robert, I don't know. Do you have any? Are you picking anyone for Tiffany Stratton to face at WrestleMania?
I think she's gonna face Charlotte, but as the way it's going, as far as the crowd interaction with these two, I feel like there has to be a double turn at some point, like an official double turn. I mean, they're already booing Charlotte and they're already cheering Tiffany, so why not make it official? You know what I mean? But
though, to be fair, sorry, I was going to say just real quick. To be fair, Charlotte wasn't booed at NXT, and I don't think she was booed at SmackDown either. So it was just the Raw crowd that gave her the trouble. I don't know what that was about.
Okay, well, I don't think she was as booed as loudly in SmackDown. I heard a little bit, but for sure you can tell that the crowd was definitely on Tiffany's side,
Yeah, maybe.
based on how much cheers she got.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, as far as who's challenging Rhea, I'm not sure, because I don't know who all the participants of the Elimination Chamber are. I don't think that's been set yet.
Yeah.
Once they set that, then I think it'll be easier to make a prediction as to who's gonna challenge Rhea.
Yeah. This page is more work in progress. The men, we might have more information, but I'm gonna leave this like this, and we'll come back to it next week. So, but if Charlotte Flair really wanted the real clout, she would go for Julia over here. Julia versus Charlotte. That's WrestleMania.
There's no way that's happening.
Main event night 1, and then Rhea versus. Well, to be honest, I would say Rhea versus Bianca. I like that matchup.
I like that too, but I don't know. But we have to get there somehow. Maybe she could win the chamber, like you said. Maybe Bianca could win the chamber. Yeah.
That's true.
Bianca, and then I got Nia Jax over here with Tiffany for WrestleMania. No, this is not my final prediction. I'm just thinking out loud here. But definitely Naomi and Jade is a possibility. But we'll get some more characters on here next week. I don't know. These are kind of the people that I think really have a chance. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head who would be a contender for the women's world title. But all right,
they did tease. I think in Raw they kind of teased a potential feud between Rhea and Io Sky. But I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know. We're gonna have to put that on hold and see.
Yeah,
we could also have a triple threat. This could also always be a 3-way where we got Charlotte or something. But I don't think that's gonna happen this time. But that's always a possibility. But all right, I gotta move on. We got a lot of more topics to get to, so it took a long time for Charlotte Flair, but I thought it was a very important thing this week.
Yeah, it was good.